Planet Dolan.
From choking on your lunch to be noticed, to giving someone a wig made of your own hair, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the weirdest things that we've done to impress a crush. My name is Nixxiom, and today, I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Andreylie. Snoopy once went to an extreme length to impress a crush. Her dad owned a rabbit farm, and so one day Snoopy snuck in and she killed a rabbit. She then cut off its foot, attached it to a small chain, and presented it to her crush as a gift. When he asked what it was, she told him it was a lucky rabbit's foot that she had made all by herself. Her crush was horrified and called her an animal-killing bitch who doesn't deserve love. He threw the rabbit foot on the ground and he walked away, leaving Snoopy heartbroken. As payback, Snoopy left the rest of the dead rabbit in his front yard. Oh man, I'm so proud of you, Snoopy. Number 9 was submitted by Ashtown101. Pandora once had a crush on a boy in a rock band who had really long hair. His band wasn't very popular, but Pandora still followed them around and went to all of their gigs. One day, Pandora's crush cut off his long hair, and he donated it to cancer. His bandmates didn't like this, and they immediately fired him from his own band. Now Pandora felt really bad for her crush, so she decided to do a nice gesture for him. She cut off her own hair, and she made it into a little wig. She then put the wig into a box, and gave it to him the next day. He was, not amused. Yeah. Number 8 was submitted by BladeFire444. One time, Zaragamba invited his crush over to play some PS4. Now after a while, she started to get bored, so Zaragamba took her into the next room to show her his dad's piano. At that moment, Dolan walked in, so Zaragamba said,
Look at this. I can use my brother's head to play the piano.
He then grabbed Dolan and repeatedly smacked his head against the keys until he made a song. Dolan was furious and he didn't talk to him for a whole week. Zaragamba was a bit bummed out about this, but his crush found it funny, so it was worth doing. Number 7 was submitted by LaserPointer565. In 7th grade, Tolup had a huge crush on a girl who was completely obsessed with sloths. Tolup struggled to get her to notice him, so when Halloween approached, he stayed up late every night making the perfect, and I mean perfect, sloth costume. When the day came, most of Tolup's friends came to school dressed as zombies, or werewolves, or other scary creatures. And you know what? Tolup, he just looked really out of place because he was just a cute little sloth. But his crush loved it. She was really impressed with all the detail on his costume. It was the perfect icebreaker. Number 6 was submitted by Imblackgayandbored. When Honeybits was in high school, she and her crush Ursa went on a trip to Disneyland for a choir competition. Ursa loved roller coasters, but Honeybits was terrified of heights. To impress Ursa, Honeybits, she took 3 times her normal dose of anxiety pills. She figured this would counteract her fear of heights, but all it did was make her really sick. Honeybits had overdose symptoms all day. Her body was sweaty, she couldn't stop shaking, but she still braved the roller coasters just to sit next to Ursa. Ursa knew Honeybits was trying to impress her, so she held her hand to get her through the symptoms. They ended up having a great day, and they've been together ever since. Number 5 was submitted by xXAngleXx. When Melissa was 13, she really wanted to impress a boy she had had a crush on since she was 8. She knew that her crush, me, was really into spicy peppers, so one day at lunch, she got up on the table in front of the whole school and pulled out the spiciest pepper she could find from her dad's garden. She shoved it in her mouth, chewed it up, and swallowed while the rest of the kids cheered. She ended up buying 20 cartons of milk to put out the fireball in her mouth, and she had to go to the bathroom 5 times. Her crush was totally impressed though, and now they're totally dating. Number 4 was submitted by MrMcPsychoReal. Hellbent really wanted to impress his crush, and so he decided to use his love for extreme sports to do it. One day, he convinced a local pub owner to let him put a huge message way up on the pub's roof. He bought himself a wingsuit and a GoPro, and he hiked up these tall mountains that were near the pub. When he reached the top of the mountain, he took off and flew over to the town. From up there, he was able to film his secret rooftop message. "Wanna go out, Laura?" And he sent the tape to his crush. Number 3 was submitted by LiveManMurdy. When Gergak was in 6th grade, he was really into old technology. Every day he brought in a radio or a cell phone to tinker with. One day Gergak was tinkering with an old clock when the girl he was crushing on came over and asked him, "What are you doing?" Gergak was trying to act cool, so he just said,
"Oh, nothing. I'm just making a bomb."
Gergak didn't realize his teacher was standing right behind him, though, when he said this. She turned around and shouted, "Excuse me, young man?" Gergak's face went white, and everyone looked at him. At that moment, the timer on his clock went off, and it started beeping. Everyone in class freaked out, thinking they were gonna die, so Gergak threw his clock on the ground in a panic. He got in huge trouble for lying about making a bomb, and his crush totally avoided him from that day forward. Number 2 was submitted by JannahsObsessionWith. In Doopy's last year of elementary school, she had a crush on this cute boy who liked drawing. She was always too shy to talk to him, so her friends came up with a weird plan to get him to notice her. They told Doopy to sit near her crush at lunchtime. She then had to take one of the carrots that she had for lunch and pretend to choke on it. Doopy knew this was crazy, but she went along with it anyway. Just as she was biting into her carrot, Doopy hesitated and thought,
"Wait a minute. I might die from this."
Because of this, she accidentally gulped down the carrot without biting, and she started choking for real. Everyone in the cafeteria stared as Doopy's face turned purple. Her friends thought she was faking it, so they didn't do anything to help. Luckily, a nearby teacher came and saved her, but as for Doopy's crush, he just stood by watching in shock.
Senpai will never notice me.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1 was submitted by me. A while back when Minecraft first came out, there was this girl that I liked, and we were playing Minecraft together with our friends on multiplayer. Now this girl really liked horses, and so you know what? I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna build a big ass horse in Minecraft, like a giant horse, and she's gonna love it. And she's gonna be like, well, like Nixxiom, oh, you're so handsome and cool. Yeah. Alright, so anyway, I have my friend leave the server up, and I spend all night building this giant frickin' horse. And then the next day, me and my friend Ben and this girl were all playing Minecraft together, and Ben, he sees this giant horse before she does, and you know what he does? He lights it on fire. He lit the horse on fire! I spent a long time working on that block horse, so it made me very angry. Alright, so a huge thanks to the folks over at our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. But we have another question for you. The question is, what is the dumbest way you have tried to start a conversation? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown.
This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys.
Until next time. See ya!